Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever felt like you're just pouring endless effort into your online stuff, maybe fantastic content or offers, but then you just hit a wall? Like you can't get people to actually see it, especially in the world of affiliate marketing, which can be pretty cutthroat. Today, we're diving deep into, well, a unique approach designed to tackle that exact problem, traffic generation. We're drawing insights from our sources about a platform called Free Post Zone.
Yeah. And what's really interesting here for our deep dive isn't just what the sources claim about solving this traffic problem, which is, persistent. It's how they're proposing to do it.
Mm.
So our mission today is really to explore this alternative path, understand the mechanics behind it, and figure out what it might mean for you without just, repeating the marketing hype.
Right. Because for so many affiliate marketers, the brutal truth, and our sources really highlight this, is that constant battle for attention. You get that feeling of being the underdog, maybe?
Mm.
Watching competitors who seem to just effortlessly rake in profits while you're kind of left struggling. You pour your heart and soul into killer offers, compelling copy, landing pages. Everything looks great. But then you realize, without reliable, targeted traffic, well, those affiliate marketing dreams might stay dreams.
Exactly. It's incredibly frustrating.
It is, and our sources really hammer that point home.
Well, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, this struggle is so common because, let's face it, the digital landscape is fiercely competitive. Algorithms are always changing. And for many, it just feels like this constant uphill battle to get consistent, targeted traffic. It really highlights a fundamental roadblock, doesn't it?
It really does.
A roadblock to achieving, that financial freedom people are looking for online.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bottleneck that can just paralyze even the best efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. And because that struggle is so, well, pervasive, most people have probably tried the usual routes, right? Often finding more frustration than results.
Right.
Our sources talk about the common pitfalls, like paid ads. You pour money in, it can feel like it's just bleeding your bank account dry.
Constant tweaking.
Constant tweaking, yeah, and sort of praying for a miracle just to get a decent ROI.
Right.
Then there's SEO, which, okay, great when it works, but it's such a long grind. Months of creating content, and then maybe your rankings just stagnate. Traffic flatlines.
You're left wondering if it's even worth it.
Exactly. Or, social media. You spend hours crafting these engaging posts, trying to connect.
Only to get drowned out by all the noise.
Yeah, just ignore it. And don't forget solo ads. The sources mention gambling cash on these, well, sometimes shady lists.
Oh yeah, bot clicks.
Getting bombarded with bot clicks, seeing conversion rates just plummet to zero. It's rough.
It is. And the cold, hard truth, like our sources lay out, is that these methods often lead to wasting a lot of time, a lot of money. It just reinforces that cycle of chasing the next shiny object without making real, sustainable progress.
Definitely.
So this raises a really important question for our deep dive today. If these common paths often lead nowhere, what genuinely effective alternatives are out there? Maybe something fundamentally different.
And speaking of finding better ways to navigate the digital world and maybe build something that lasts. If you're finding this deep dive valuable for your own digital hustle, maybe consider liking this deep dive and subscribing to our YouTube channel, Digital Hustle Podcast. We share more insights like this all the time. Okay, so let's turn now to what our sources introduce as this new approach, Free Post Zone. It's presented as, and they use these terms, the ultimate traffic weapon and a 100% automated traffic engine.
Right. What that seems to signify, based on the material, is a system designed to really cut down on the manual effort that usually goes into traffic generation. The idea is you publish your content, and then, well, in theory, the platform handles the distribution, the visibility, without you needing to constantly be hands-on.
Yeah, that automation part sounds key.
The core promise here, according to what we've read, is a platform where you can, quote, showcase your expertise, promote your favorite affiliate products, and build a thriving community. And do all that while enjoying what they call a tidal wave of targeted traffic, absolutely free.
Okay, tidal wave, absolutely free. Those are strong claims.
They are. And the material highlights, it's designed to sort of level the playing field, whether you're a newbie or a pro. A key insight, I think, is how the platform plans to sustain that traffic. It seems to be through a mix of its own internal ranking, automated distribution, maybe a dedicated user base, rather than just relying on, the unpredictable nature of external SEO or pricey ad campaigns.
That makes sense. And the simplicity angle sounds compelling, too. The sources say you can just claim your free account and start submitting posts really quickly, like within minutes. And crucially, it talks about unlimited evergreen traffic. It lets you submit up to 30 posts every month for life. That sounds pretty significant.
30 posts a month for life, yeah.
And the versatility seems good too. It says you can promote anything, reviews, your own products, local businesses, even just drive traffic to your social media.
So pretty broad application.
Seems like it. A flexible tool for lots of different online ventures.
And this versatility and traffic potential, they say it's backed by some powerful features, like they mentioned built-in SEO domination. Now, for listeners really into SEO, the sources describe this as the platform itself being optimized for maximum SEO, which implies things like maybe internal linking structures, perhaps some automated keyword optimization, schema markup, aiming to help posts rank not just inside the platform, but potentially get seen by search engines too.
Okay, that's a big claim on the SEO front. What else? What other features did the sources say kind of pull this all together for traffic?
Or another one that stood out was the email list explosion capability.
Right.
The sources say you can actually include strategic opt-in forms in your posts. So you can theoretically watch your email list explode with targeted subscribers. That suggests, direct integration for lead capture right there.
Which could definitely streamline list building.
Exactly. And management seems easier too. They talk about high converting profile pages, easy post editing removal, and viral social sharing options. It all points towards a system designed to, reduce the friction and get your stuff seen more easily.
And underpinning it all, the sources mention this autopilot traffic, tapping into a unique, high-quality traffic generation engine that works 24/7 on complete autopilot. Now, when I read autopilot traffic, my first thought is always, okay, how does that actually work? Did the sources shed any light on the mechanics behind that?
Well, they imply this engine is designed to syndicate content, maybe across a network, leverage the platform's own users for sharing, and possibly connect with external content distribution channels too. The goal, as it's described, is to make it different from traditional traffic methods. More hands-off, a continuous flow of visitors. It points to a system where, once your content's up, the platform itself does the heavy lifting of ongoing promotion.
Okay, so moving from the features to the actual results, the sources report a massive traffic increase. They even throw out numbers like a 300–500% increase in traffic and conversions. That's certainly an eye-catching number. Did the sources give any context for that? Like, what are they comparing it to?
Yeah, that's a good question. They don't provide super granular data or specific case studies with exact baselines, unfortunately. But they frame these figures as sort of typical results seen by the early users, suggesting the increases are relative to whatever the marketer was doing before or maybe wasn't doing. The picture they paint is waking up to this, quote, tsunami of new leads and sales, implying it's consistent and substantial. The focus is really on the potential for that kind of growth using the platform.
Right, the potential. And that leads into what the sources call the benefits that matter. Like, by consistently posting, you create this steady stream of relentless traffic and hopefully achieve unstoppable conversions by attracting these hyper-qualified leads who are ready to buy. That's the promise, anyway.
And beyond just the traffic and sales numbers, sharing your knowledge there supposedly helps you establish yourself as an industry leader, build that unbreakable brand authority. Plus, the automation piece means massive time savings. And that frees you up, theoretically, to focus on revenue-generating activities instead of the traffic grind.
Yeah, less time on the grind, more time on strategy.
Exactly. And, crucially, the zero-cost traffic aspect. That could potentially save thousands usually spent on paid ads. Though it's always important to remember, zero cost in ad spend still means investing time in creating that content, right?
Good point. There's always an investment. So based on these sources, the picture they paint is, imagine having the freedom to live life on your own terms, finally achieving that financial independence maybe you've been craving, becoming a recognized authority in your niche, building a solid long-term business with passive income. That's the transformation they're hinting at.
Yeah, it's clear from the sources they describe this as more than just a traffic source. They call it a movement, even a complete transformation. The underlying idea seems to be shifting the game for affiliate marketers away from that constant struggle towards a more consistent flow.
Interesting. And beyond the core platform, they also mention a community aspect, like networking opportunities.
They do. Briefly mentioning the chance to network with industry leaders, share your insights, and learn from the best. The sources also touch on this element of exclusivity. They say they're meticulously hand-selecting a limited number of action takers.
Okay, so limited spots.
Seems like it. But they frame it less as just scarcity and more as a commitment to providing personalized support and attention,
Mm.
and building a really thriving community of top-tier affiliates. Suggests they might be going for quality over just pure quantity in their user base.
Right. And what about getting started, the barrier to entry? The sources mention an entry point of just 9.95 cents. That sounds remarkably low for everything they're
It
describing.
does sound low.
Did the deep dive uncover what's included there? Are there hidden costs or upsells mentioned?
Well, the sources really emphasize that the 9.95 cents gives you lifetime access to the core features we talked about, the 30 posts a month, the platform access indefinitely. Now, the material doesn't explicitly detail higher tiers or additional costs, but it positions that initial 9.95 as the main gateway.
Right.
And to kind of sweeten that deal, they highlight what they call an extremely bold, no questions asked, triple threat money-back guarantee.
Your full threat.
Yeah, basically, if you're not head over heels about the results, you can get a full refund within 30 days. And apparently, you even get to keep some significant bonuses they offer.
Wow, okay.
It signals pretty strong confidence from the creator. Like they're saying, look, we're taking all the risks so you can try this thing out with complete peace of mind.
That definitely lowers the perceived risk for someone considering it. Okay, so to kind of wrap up our deep dive today, we've explored this method, free post zone, which is designed to tackle what many agree is the biggest headache in affiliate marketing, getting traffic. It aims, according to the sources, to provide consistent, targeted, and essentially free traffic using an automated platform, offering a potentially fresh way to get visibility online.
Yeah, and this really brings up an important question for you listening right now. What could you actually achieve if those big traffic challenges were suddenly just handled? If you were freed up to focus entirely on building your business, living the life you've envisioned, this could potentially be that chance to break free from just, mediocrity or struggling with traffic.
It's definitely food for thought. So if what we've discussed today resonates with you, and maybe you're curious to explore Free Post Zone a bit more, you can find a link down in the description to learn more and get your copy if you decide it's right for you.